Is it happening, mate?
Yes, we're live, mate. Wow.
Is your technology working for once?
You know what, mate? If this is working now, everyone can hear us. I think I've cracked it.
Shall we have a high five shortly?
I think I've cracked the
We'll
technology.
Wait for some thumbs up.
Wait for some thumbs up about the sound quality and the image quality, because I've been fluffing around for 6 years trying to get it right. We've made our own microphones.
You've made mine.
These discrete microphones. So I just want to see, is it working? Is it working?
I wondered about the microphone, that's all. Oh yeah, no, it was. This is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So we're on the right page. Who's there? Oh yeah, 3 people watching. Here we go. We're good. Comments? Favourites? Okay, mate. Well, I reckon we're going. Yep, we're going. Say something, mate.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. Well, it's been...
Everyone going? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we are.
What a relief, mate, to actually be able to get out on the water again. Like, you know, we understand that there's still some ongoing issues, some severe ongoing issues for a lot of people, and we're very thankful to be able to actually do something that's relatively normal and actually something that's enjoyable. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can't help but, I feel a little bit guilty almost, you know, enjoying myself out on the water at the moment, but by the same token, I need looking after as well, you know, and I think we all just need some relief, you know, from just the little problems that are constantly coming our way at the moment. So what better way to do it than take your family or friends out and
mate.
spend some time together, actually have an enjoyable time for once, you know. So I'm really, and we've actually got some weather coming up that looks like we can do it. With the different weather models, one favours tomorrow. Windy is really good for that, and on Sunday, Swell Map says it's going to be great.
So you just swap around, do you, and go for the best one?
Well, I have actually, yeah. Poor, Andre Castle, I love him, and I enjoy fishing with him. He fishes the same way as me, and he asked me to go tomorrow, and I looked at it and I just went, I just can't, mate, it just looks horrible.
But it's southeasterly though.
Well, actually on
your favourite spot will be
on the other one, it said northwest.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But for me, I like the look of Sunday, so I'll probably be going out then.
You'll probably go both days, mate.
Not when you have a wife and children, plus duties at home you don't.
Yep, I've got that as well, but I've got to say I'm loving this kahawai fishing. First thing I want to say, the men's mental health people, you know, this time of year with all this weather, you know, lots of people are struggling at the moment, so get out for a fish, go with your mates, you know, take the piss out of each other, I'm allowed to say that, have a bit of banter, and, you know, get rid of some of that stress that, you know, quite a few people I know are suffering from at the moment. And what better way to get out on the water, mate, and go, just go. You don't have to have the perfect weather to go. I've been going, you know, I've just been picking the areas I go to stay in the shelter, do my new thing, my microbaiting, and I've been having a ball, mate.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what? I've been I kept those kahawai. Remember when we caught it? I kept the kahawai. Oh my goodness, mate! How? So I'm gonna actually make a video about how I did it because it was so good. But basically, just filleted them, brined them for a day and a half, and then air dried them in the fridge for a day and a half, and then smoked them. Oh my God, mate! Way better than snapper.
Why was the air drying so much better?
Well, it shrunk. They kind of shrunk down. So I think condensed the oil. So it was quite oily when you're eating the smoked fish. So I think it's got something to do with that. But yeah, just so nice.
So kind of like salmon or something almost.
Oh, it's just got, you know how with fish, when it just starts to go off a little bit, you get a little fishy flavour. I kind of like that little fishy flavour.
Not me, mate.
It's just got a little tang of fishy flavour in it. Otherwise, it's got no flavour, right? So yeah, so day and a half brine, day and a half air dry, smoke it, man, I'm just loving it.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, the marinade makes a massive difference to, you know, just how good your smoked fish is. And so, you know, that whatever you chuck on there, I guess, you know, it still takes quite a bit to beat the brown sugar and salt, you know, maybe plus some rum or whatever you want to go and chuck on as well. Maybe some spices, you know, a bit of chili and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm mucking around with different flavours and everything now. So yeah, maybe I might give you a bit one day even, mate.
Yeah, well...
and that snapper you caught, I've smoked that up as well. So that didn't go to waste, mate. That made 6 beautiful, nice chunks of smoked fish. Gave some to the neighbours. Yeah, gave a bit to the gym trainer. See?
It's been a very, very interesting time because I've been having fishing trips where 95% 5% of the fish are like 25 to 40 centimetres.
Yep.
And the rest, like just one in every sort of 20 is like between
A giant
three,
Yeah.
generally speaking, nothing, maybe
Yeah.
maybe 1 8-pounder or something
Yeah.
like that. And then massive. Like both my last trips got fish like
Yeah.
I got an even bigger one after the one with you with the
Did ya?
microbaiting.
Yeah.
I got one about 17 pounds.
And were you microbaiting again? Or soft baiting?
No, this time
Just
my
got,
old favourite, mate, the old Laguna shrimp, and just 5-inch. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have had the 7-inch on because I really think that's going to be even better. But I just haven't been fishing places where there's been very many big fish. And I mean, I'm only talking about 3 to 4
Is that the
pounders,
7-inch one?
No, there's just the 5.
look at the pink going through there. Maybe that's something to do with why they're so good.
But that there, just amongst all the little fish, about 7.5, 8 kilo fish, nobbled one of them and gave me a hell fight. I actually took Mark from Hunting and Fishing North Shore. He's a pretty good fisherman already, but I was just upskilling him and his dad a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Out in their own boat. And so thank you very much for taking me out, guys. But we had a magic day. We got about probably 35, 40 snapper, I suppose, included that one big one. And his dad, who is a dyed-in-the-wool bait fisherman, he got a real nice 8-pounder. So
nice.
It gave him a good scrap, and he's thinking twice about whether or not he actually has to have all his bait and burley now.
Oh, awesome.
And like his son's always been, you got to get Dad on my side, because like I don't want to keep on bait and burley fishing, but it's so ingrained in him,
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I was able to actually show that you could go out with just a few packets of soft baits and lead head jigs and do really, really well.
Yeah.
And of course, on our day when we went together, we had some stars, including this here.
But you can't buy those, mate.
I'm just going to show because,
Can I see those? They're mine now. How did you get those, mate?
So those little Laguna shrimps, the little tiny weeny ones, somehow Josh Darby who loves his new penny and the bigger ones and the bigger shrimps, and he had those on, and for some reason they were getting hit more, but they were getting hit by bigger fish as well, weren't they?
Yep.
We were using all these different larger soft baits, and they just kept on producing. And it just reminded me of that day when we
That's
went
what
out,
I've been using. That's my secret,
when
mate.
we went out with Jonathan off North Side.
Yeah, I've got a
Charters,
story for you.
and he was using those, and man, he just kept on smashing them over, and we were catching nothing.
Wow.
And he just got one after another,
Wow.
didn't he?
Yeah,
So it just remind me of that.
Well, can I tell you a little story? So I was hunting around, mate, in the warehouse the other day, and just having a look around, see what's going on. And I found a little box of easy shrimps. And in there are these other colours.
Oh.
There's a natural colour,
Oh.
and then this, it looks exactly like a prawn. So guess what I did? I took it up to Mangawai.
Yeah.
I actually put it on a 1/4 ounce light bulb, used my Tansui rod, and I don't know if you can see
How
in
did
here.
you set the hook with that big?
It was fine, mate.
Oh.
But if you notice in there's a big gap there. You guys probably can't see it. You load that up with the old secret sauce, mate. She was getting smashed.
Probably drag juice would be good for
Yep,
that.
it got really. It's because it's even better.
Yeah,
I bet you
wow.
Josh hasn't seen these ones, Mr. Josh Darby, and the natural ones,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
and then a see-through one. So I use both of them, and they were really good,
wow.
mate. So I'm a bit on the shrimp trail at the moment with old Josh.
We went on. We sort of went off with a hiss and a roar with that one after being with Jonathan.
Yeah.
And then we just did
Forgot
nothing
about
for
it.
ages because it seemed to be that little barrier was particularly good with that, didn't it?
Oh, it was
like
good
just
off Mangawhai as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
And but on the day when we were out, like I was just using this little smelt. Like I've been using Pearl Blue Glimmer, which has just been amazing, and also Bad Shad. But I always like the look of that because Smoky Shad and Shiner, they're real similar, and they're just such good general purpose lures. And so to have that little sucker there on 12-pound leader fluorocarbon on our 10 suis, like it was doing pretty well, and then it hooked that monster, and like it took us, like it was in 1 to 2 meters of foul ground. You might have seen it on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah.
It took, like I had a 150-yard top shot, and that knot went
mate.
flying through my guides.
Yeah.
So this fish was smoking. I don't know.
I've got to say,
that
that was one of the best snapper fights I've ever seen,
pretty
mate.
cool.
It was a really good snapper fight.
And I was trying to just be It's okay, guys. Yeah, this is a really big fish.
Yeah.
We need to get after it. Well, I'm going to probably lose it. I can feel it's in the weed now.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to go, for God's sake, just wind in and get going.
Yeah.
And thank goodness the guys, very often they, oh, sorry, I just had a bite. Oh no.
I'll always get on there, mate.
And you were, mate. And
always.
I've got to say, it's great having Paul because he doesn't hook too many big fish, and he's always there to be on the helm when I catch some of my best fish ever. You've been there, to help me, mate.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Well, there is quite a bit of skill in manoeuvring that boat.
It was in the shallows.
In the shallows,
especially with an electric motor. And
it's all up to the boat driver when you're in that situation.
So basically, you caught it.
Yeah. So I'm just part of the team, Yeah, well, thanks for acknowledging that, Mark, that I helped you catch big snappers. That's really nice of you.
And kingfish.
Yeah. But, I'm just thinking while you're showing that, how in America they've been going on about this TRD lure system for yonks, and it's very popular, and it's basically just a tube of plastic, mate. And, it's very unassuming. It's got probably hardly any action, and it's huge in America, and it's your favourite one already.
Yeah, it is. And there's only 4 colours.
It's just a stick.
Hardly anyone. It's like a stick bait, soft bait.
Yeah, you know what I reckon it's about, mate? Is snapper don't like things that are too much action, especially those big lazy ones. He just saw that, so I'm just gonna go and get it.
Well, I mean,
because you don't even move it around, do you? You just sit on the bottom.
When you have like a pilchard for bait, that's not wriggling around, that's just floating down, so they're used to seeing targets that aren't moving. It just has to look right, and that's exactly what they feel right. For whatever reason,
TRD system, the Ned system.
They absolutely slay them. And in a similar vein, Tane Gordon.
I use that one too.
Tane Gordon. I just wonder whether, because I tried to get a clarification from him, because I actually thought it might have been the next one down. This is as you said, the diesel minnows, which you said on your Instagram, but it might have just been the normal minnows, which was the 3-inch version. But because they're both
I think my one's smaller than that.
Yeah, so I think.
So there's 2 sizes.
Minnows and TRD.
I see.
There's too many products for you to know, unfortunately.
Oh well, my brain's not that big, mate.
No. Like if something new comes in, the rest falls out, doesn't it? So
yeah, that's right.
This here, TRD minnows, I do. Diesel minnows. I think the normal minnows, which we don't push much at all, it's kind of been a trout
I've never
thing.
used them, said, that's no good. But then I did a bit of research. This is one of the most popular soft baits in Australia for snapper. Wow. Yeah, we've only just latching onto it over here now.
Well, certainly, when I go and see some slightly bigger bait fish, like both the anchovies and pilchards, it's definitely those, and the mood ring colour and that sort of thing. I'll put those on.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tane Gordon, good on you, mate. Like he went with Andre and got like looked like about a 12 kilo. Yeah, kingfish.
And guys, I'll be around fishing tomorrow around the Waitemeata Harbour. So if you see us in the ocean boat, you come and say hello, ask what we're doing. We'll always give you information.
Big donut would be good.
Yeah, and if you see Mark and Stabby, do a big donut. But there's still action out deep, guys. Like. I just want to say that because we've been harping on about shallow water so often. So I was in Mangawhai this week, went to the shallows. I thought the anchovies are going to be all balled up against the back of the breakers and it's going to be all on. Wasn't the case. All the anchovies were there, but they were all spread out. They weren't feeding. You could see fish everywhere. We weren't catching many, but as soon as I got to that 35, 40 metre mark, not so much sign, but it was a fish every drop.
Wow.
So, that kind of saved the day for some fish with the G bombs and the fleas.
Nikki Sinden's been doing
super
well with
and
it
Nikki's
too,
up the bitch has been smashing it in 45, 50 metres on the G bombs. So I know we're talking about shallow water all the time, but that deep water is still going. And if that's your thing, I'm just going through a phase like I do. Who knows what it'll be next, but it's just a phase, and I get kind of addicted to it, and I think about it all the time, and I just do one thing, and that's what's kind of happening with me. So don't let that shy away from all the other types of fishing as well, because I'm a bit different.
Yeah, well, you definitely are different, and I'm sure you deliberately set yourself up then. But yeah, did Nikki, I think the main thing to actually tell people is that you don't need to wait for a workup. It can just look and see any sign
you don't
on
need
the
workups,
bottom, and they will be there. They'll be eating them.
Sometimes you don't even need sign.
No,
that's
right.
You just go up and down the tent. Now Nikki said the G bombs, so she's got fish fingers, she's got G bombs, she's got slides. She said the G bomb was outfishing all the other lures 10 to 1.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
10 to 1.
I wonder
She
if it's
reckons.
the colour or the weight or anything.
Oh, I think it's just that action, mate. And she was
On the
with
day,
she
anyway.
was with some anglers who weren't that experienced, and yeah, they're just so easy to use, mate.
Nice.
So
Did you get some decent ones?
You know, I didn't really ask her how big they were. You know, I don't really ask people those questions. How big was the snapper you caught? I just ask, did you have a good day?
Good on you, mate.
What do you say? How big was the snapper you caught?
I just ask all the questions.
Yeah,
Cover it.
yeah. It's changing, mate. The world's changing. It's not about the
She
size of
might
your
have been
snapper. It's
catching,
about
she might have caught 500.
it's just about
that
going
size.
out and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not how big the snapper are.
I think it's about having fun and having a feed.
But
to
lots,
take home.
I'm just joking there, but I know it's still good to catch a big snapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, as long as it goes back successfully, because like it ruined it for me, you know, when our like we tried for 20 minutes to let it go, and it didn't. I just don't know why it didn't, because it was in such shallow water.
Oh, you get that
If you're
sometimes.
gonna go
Just
fishing,
now and then.
it is going to happen
Yep.
sometimes. Just know that we tend to always want to let them go.
Yeah.
Just occasionally we get it wrong somehow. And
I think they might have hard it. They just die. Some of them just die. Eh? Which is a real shame because we want to let these big fish go.
Which brings me to a really something that really worries me right now, and that's that
You don't worry, do you?
we're getting such a like we're either getting 25 to 40 centimetre fish, or we're catching monsters. There seems to be a massive gap in between, and I'm just wondering if all those fish that had all that really soft, horrible flesh out wide have died. And those year classes are actually gone to us now because they just don't seem to be translating to coming in close. We don't seem to have a decent amount of wide-ranging weights, and I'd just like to know if people are catching, you know, some of the larger fish in between, either just the little pennies and the monsters, because that's all I've been getting.
Yeah, I
pretty
think out
much
in the deep, because
recently.
you only fish in the shallows, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
in the
and
shallows.
it seems to be different out wide, but
It's a
I
bit
just
different out wide, but
I'd like to know what happened to
I
those fish though.
I was, well, I haven't seen one for a while now.
Because imagine, exactly, because maybe
Yeah.
they're dead. Imagine
Yeah.
if you had soft, mushy flesh that you could poke your fingers through. I mean,
They
that
probably
would
did
not
die, eh?
that would not be a very pleasant way to be as a person.
Yeah,
You know? So
yeah.
it really worries me about that disease. It seems like a very
Well,
debilitating
no,
thing.
they don't think it's a disease, it's a parasite.
Yeah, well, parasite, whatever.
Yeah, well, maybe that's a good thing they all died.
Oh, you reckon make the genetic code stronger?
Yeah, might be just natural thing, mate.
So.
Just a natural thing.
Yep.
What else has been happening?
One last thing for me. Like after
Was
that,
it last
I'm gone.
Where are you going?
Basically my brain will be disengaged.
Oh yeah.
We had squid chasing our soft baits up in the
Oh,
North
yeah.
Channel.
Same at Mangawai.
So people who want to get out and catch a few squid, interestingly, they weren't even. We had one decent one and one that was only about that big, and I went, wow, there's just no
that snapper
rhyme
you
or
caught the
reason.
other day had squid inside
that's
it.
right, it was
spitting out big chunks of
Yeah,
squid.
that's right, it was too.
Yeah, so maybe they got the squid season wrong here, eh? Because how do you work out the squid
I
season?
don't know, mate.
But they seem to be
yeah,
around all the time.
So for those people who want to fish during the day, just the more natural ones like that sort of mackerel-y coloured one, or that sort of pilchardy one, and if it's quite murky, have one of the brighter sort of orange or pink or something like that. But especially if it is quite clear, those more natural colours quite often go better, especially during the daytime, and there do seem to be quite a good number around at the moment, so I'd actually be targeting
Look,
them.
thanks Nigel. Nigel's one of our very good
Nigel,
fans.
good on you, Nigel.
And
We love you.
I'll have a go, give that microbaiting a go. Looks like fun plus
mate,
productive.
Mate, everyone who gives it a go,
Yeah.
like they're bagging it to start
This
with,
how it
and then they
goes.
get into
This is how it goes.
Yeah.
So there'll be a group of guys talking about, don't do that microbaiting stuff. You know, you don't want to target little fish. You want to catch big ones. And then we kind of talk to them a bit, and they have a go.
I'll have a go. I'll
And the
have a
first time they go, oh yeah, it was all right. And then you'll notice. I noticed with old Josh. I took him out one day. The next day he was out there again doing it, and he didn't even tell me, mate. And then after they've done about 4 times, they'll get hooked, and that's all they talk about.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
how it's
I
kind of
reckon- I
going.
reckon
But
one or
at
two.
the start, because you know it's not really manly to target little fish on a little rod.
yeah.
But once you have a go and break through that, I don't know, what would you call
Well,
it?
it's not.
Manliness fear. It's
I
just
think
so
it's
much
just
fun.
I think it's just that it's a very practical thing to use when 95% of the fish are well within its capabilities, and it can still land fish over 14 pounds, mate.
Yeah.
And kingfish over over £25.
Yeah, and it's the travel time as well. It's the travel time. You just launch local. You don't have to go far. You don't spend like 2 hours motoring around trying to find stuff. You just pop out there to your local, and all of a sudden we're catching so many more fish with these small baits. It's just, I haven't been past Rakino for ages. When I used to go, call it Horizon, I used to drive all over, spend hundreds of dollars on fuel. Now I'm filling up the boat and it's lasting me 3-4 trips.
Yeah. And the thing that guts me too is that I love my stick baits, I love my poppers, and to be honest, just in recent times, we're far more likely to hook up on a small soft bait.
Yeah.
You know, admittedly just even on sort of 5-inch normal soft baits like a smoky shad or something, than you are on top water gear. So it's just a very, very effective way right now, especially with the way things are.
And you know, I'm gonna really torture you. I've got this plan. It's gonna be quite funny. I'm gonna put it on Facebook and stuff. It's gonna be called Microbaiting the Mokes.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, and you're gonna come.
You reckon?
Yep, and you're only allowed to bring your microbait gear.
Yes.
You're not allowed to bring a leader over 12 pounds.
Cool.
And you're not allowed to bring big soft baits. You're not allowed to bring a stick bait rod. You're not allowed to bring a soft bait rod. It's called Microbaiting the Mokes. Do you think you'll be able to handle that, mate?
Oh, absolutely. But the only thing I'll say is I don't like fishing in areas where you're busting off the whole time. Because to me,
we won't do that.
Yeah, so we'll have to be reasonably clear.
But I was thinking about the other day. How many big snapper have you caught on microbaits versus how many have busted off?
I've only had one real big one bust off. But that's because I'm with good guys who are at the helm, like either you or Pete Francis or Andre or Josh.
So is it, you're normally using what?
So it's a good team thing. It's almost like marlin fishing.
So you normally use, say, 20-pound leader. Now you're using 10-pound.
No, 12 pounds.
12, so
12's good.
There's only a difference of 8 pounds. How much difference is that going to make on the fish escaping?
You'd think it would be quite significant.
You would think so. Your brain tells you so. But now we're doing the practical side of what we're doing. Like, I was amazed you got that fish the other day. I was going, this is going to end it to you real quick. And I was amazed.
I was ready to just go, well, that's another one gone.
I don't know, mate. There's something, maybe it's just not how strong your line is compared to how many times you bust off, you know.
It interests me that those big fish that have been around a long time are being fooled by that small gear. You know, like they seem to just be, like they've resisted all baits and lures over all this time, but those little lures with little hooks and light leader, man, they're just all over it. But anyway, we're probably estranged half the people watching by going on and on about microbaits.
I know.
Sorry to you guys. Like, you know, there's still that big fish hunter in me. And as soon as I see the practical time to be deploying that heavier gear, I will be. Like, I would at the Mokes normally. Great Barrier, Horn Rock, Little Barrier, those places I'd still, you know, a lot of times I'd prefer to have like my Top Gun rod or microwave rod and a decent leader and a 7-inch soft bait for sure. Hey, one other thing, actually there was one other thing. I have never ever, I don't think I've ever even tried to sell that to a shop.
What is it, mate?
This one's, it's Pro Yellow Perch.
Oh, that's a special colour Z-Man offered us. I bought some.
Yeah, you did.
It's a special guide, guide or something made the colour.
I've never tried that at all. And then this guy said to me, hey, that one there, he said, where'd you get that from? And I said, I'm not really sure. And he said, it's absolutely amazing.
Really?
He said it's fantastic.
I can see why, mate.
It's almost like a bit of, there's like some, I didn't actually like the look of it, to be honest. But I like that Disco Cisco one, or whatever it is. That looks like a pilchard, but
those too off you, mate. Thanks, man.
I've only got one packet. But he said it was amazing, and so I'm going to go and try and sell that to some shops now because I just didn't. I wasn't going to use it actually, and until